Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Master J. Thank you for tuning back in. I am back from a long vacation finally, and we're gonna get right back into it to not waste any time. Back to the CJ video, the 20-year army vet that talks about his alien encounter, or UFO and alien encounter, on the YouTube channel Area 52, which you guys should check out and subscribe as well. A very good channel. I listen to it all the time, but of course you're here on my channel right now, so you can stick to me too. So let's get right back into it. If you don't know what it's about, check out the other 6 videos. This is part 7. So let's go, guys.
Everything at me at once. I mean, who knows what would happen to my mental state? So
Yeah, that's a
maybe
good
this
point.
is a way to protect myself. That they're gradually sharing stuff because I believe that progression is needed. And then I specifically asked, just give me the answer. No, we won't do it that way.
Do you think you were chosen, like, from, like, a young age? Do you think that you've been
Uh,
selected?
A lot of strange things happen.
You know, you always ask very good questions, I realize. Like questions that sometimes I don't even think about. This guy's a very good interviewer.
When I was a child, and we talked about this last night. Um, my parents were still together. My mom and dad were still married. I was about 4. And it was a time when I was about 4 years old where I started waking up in different parts of the house, and it freaked my parents out when
Sleepwalking?
I wasn't in bed when they go to wake me up for school, and they couldn't find me. I was in under the bed because sometimes I would go under the bed, and sleep under there because I was afraid. I don't know what I was afraid of, but I was drawing a lot of pictures that my mom took away and hidden because I believe I was drawing, you know, grays,
Hmm.
and she didn't want our community, our neighborhood, to think that we were crazy people. So she hid a lot of that. But I was sleeping under the bed because I was afraid when I was going to bed when I was little. I'm 4 year old seeing weird things. It could bother you. But they would go in to wake me up, and I wouldn't be in bed. I wouldn't be in the room. They would find me in the garage sleeping, like on some laundry that hadn't been washed yet. They would find me on the back porch,
That
locked
was
out of the
very
house.
specific.
They would find me in random places around the house and outside of the house that I wouldn't, they'd go out and wake me up on. I've fallen asleep in a toy box on my back porch. How can a kid sleep on toys? I don't know. Kids can sleep in weird places.
Hmm.
They can sleep hanging off of a bed sometimes. So, yeah, that's when they started putting locks on the windows so that they couldn't be opened. And that's when
Hmm.
things started to pick up. And there was one time where my dad was concerned and slept outside of my room.
So basically, I mean, it sounds like this is part of his story, or why he had this encounter. Like if the guy didn't ask, the interviewer didn't ask that question, he probably would have never told us this. I mean, it's kind of an important part, I would assume.
And because they would lock us in the room, me and my brother, they would lock me and my brother in the room because they thought I was sleepwalking. And so my dad grabbed a chair, put it outside our bedroom door, tucked us in, and we went to bed. And I'd hear him outside the door, y'all stop laughing, y'all stop cutting up, go to sleep, go to bed. And so we'd stop talking and eventually fall asleep. Well, this particular time, he was sleeping outside at the door, and he had gotten up a couple of times to stand up and stretch his legs and then lay back down and get comfortable and go back to sleep. But this morning, they go and unlock the door to go wake us up, and I'm not there. Well, the windows are all locked. I'm, I've been locked in my room, but I'm not in there, and they couldn't find me for a while. I believe it was like 30, 45 minutes. They're starting to lose their mind. They called the police. They thought I had been kidnapped, but there's no way anybody could have gotten in. They don't know how I disappeared. And so they're looking everywhere. And when the police show up, they're taking information. There's a couple police officers that were there from what I remember. And as some of them started to go scour the road or the area, one of them walked by my dad's car and saw my foot hanging out from some of my dad's work clothes, and I had fallen asleep inside my dad's locked car in the back seat. I was sleeping in the back seat of my dad's car under some of his work coats. He was a security guard at the time. He was one of his jackets I was sleeping under. And they were trying to get the door unlocked. My dad was looking for his keys. He found his keys and they unlocked the door and got me out. How'd you get in here? The door's been locked. And my dad found his keys like in the closet where he keeps them up top where he keeps his hats and stuff. He just puts his keys up there, easy for him to grab.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I couldn't reach that at 4 years old. And I couldn't lock myself in and go back and put the keys back. I ended up in a locked car
Out of
in
your
my
locked room.
driveway, out of a locked room. Yeah, in the back seat of my dad's car at 4 years old.
You think you were abducted?
That's weird. Maybe he's a
You know,
magician.
that's the impression that I get.
Mm-hmm.
And it screams that, but
No comment.
I wish he had some like paperwork proof from when the parents called the police on him. Well, not on him, but called the police because they were worried about him. That'd be cool, like a little bit more evidence for us.
Information.
I can't prove that. I'm not going to try to prove it. I'm just going to point out that, my mom brought this up and she said it bothered her and she was worried and she was pretty freaked out at this point. And so, she told me she was praying and doing a lot of things, trying to get some help, and it eventually stopped. It stopped happening, and everybody like calmed down.
Wow, it was a real ordeal.
It was quite a while. It was
Like with
it
the
was going
police
on
involved and
over.
everything. That's
Yeah, this was like
incredible.
a 1 month time frame or so in my young
Terrifying.
child. Yeah, 4 years old.
But you do have some proof of something, and that proof you have in you, I would say.
Yes. Okay, I see where you're getting at with this. So it wasn't a while back. I sometime 2021, right after I retired from the military, and I was going through my BA stuff and starting to. We were looking for a house to buy, place to settle down.
Oh, back then.
And I
when
started
buying
feeling
a house was still
having some
possible, huh?
abdominal pains,
Must have been
some
nice.
strange abdominal pains, and I thought that I either my appendix was about to burst or something was going on with me. I needed to get to a hospital and get checked out. So I took off, drove to the hospital, military hospital on base. Went to the emergency room and was getting checked out because I told him I was having a lot of weird abdominal pains. It wasn't feeling right. And it was intensifying and stuff. And so they were thinking that maybe something was going on with my appendix or something. So they went and they put me through some type of medical scanners. I want to say MRI or something similar to that effect. They took some x-rays and got me through an MRI. And while they were going through this MRI, which I think it's an MRI, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But I guess it takes scans around like in a 360-degree location of your body. And it takes hundreds or lots of images so that they can see how things are affecting me and my body. And while they were doing that, they discovered a anomaly in my left hip. It was similar to the size of a BB, but maybe squished down a little bit. And it was about, half my fingernail, my pinky fingernail,
Mhm.
not very large, I would say half the size of a dime.
Is it metal?
It's metal.
Hmm.
They said it glowed in a way that was metal. And it was the strange thing is why they're playing the video and seeing it. You can see my
Implants.
circulatory system. You can see blood pumping from my heart. You can see the pulsing from my heartbeat. And this thing had its own pulse that was different from the rest of my circulatory system.
Yeah, that's
So this
weird.
thing had a pulse to it as well, but to a completely different beat of
It's impossible.
how my heart is. And this was metal.
Hmm.
And this, I guess they said this had to have been some type of micronuclear, some sort of reaction or for it to show up the way it did.
The doctors were
The doc,
baffled.
they were. I mean, my doctor was like, "What the hell?" And he came back with two other doctors, I guess specialists in their field, and they're like, "Hey, we need to check you out." They didn't say anything at first. It was like, "Why is there three of you? You know, like
Mhm.
what are three of you doing here?" He's like, "We need to check you out. Can you roll to your right?" And I rolled to my right, and they were moving the paper apron that they always make you wear. They were moving that paper apron around and just completely checking out my the back of my buttocks, my hip, my legs, my inner thigh. They're checking me out thoroughly. I was like, "It doesn't hurt there. It hurts in my abdominal." "What are y'all doing?" He's like, "Hold on, we're looking at something. We're looking for scarring." I was like, "I don't have any scars there." He's like, "You were military. Have you been blown up?" I was like, "No, not really. No, I haven't been really blown up. I have never received any shrapnel or anything like that in my career." So they were looking for
Entry wound.
old entry sites,
Yeah.
um, old injuries or old scarring.
Yeah.
They were looking for scarring, and I had no idea until they finished. And so they said, That's super weird." And so the three of us are in here because you have some sort of metal object in your hip that is pulsing different from your circulatory system. And we can see it on video. It's pulsing. We would like to ask you if you want it removed. We would be happy. We'd love to remove it from you." And I was like, and I said, "I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I had to think about it, And the more I thought about it, I said, "No, I'll have to talk to my wife first, and she's not here right now, so I'll talk with her, and I'll to get back to you later." And they were really trying to get me to have it removed.
Really?
They were really trying to convince me. It was like, "Well, it's a foreign object.
They're excited about it.
It's not good for your body." And it was like, is it causing anything?" "Well, no, but that doesn't mean it won't cause anything later." And they were just trying to convince me, like, you know, from a
Yeah.
health
Yeah.
perspective, you don't want metal and foreign objects.
I don't know. What would you guys say? Like if three different doctors would have told me I had some weird object in my body that's pulsating, I think I would want to have them remove it. But maybe I'm too trusting. I don't know. What would you guys say?
Yeah.
That have some sort of energy associated with them in your body because it's not good for you.
Yeah.
And so they were going through my medical records and everything, trying to figure out what this
The
is and
heck
where
is
it came
this?
from, and there's nothing. And so they were really trying to convince me to have it removed. And as I was thinking about it, it was like, it's there for a purpose. It's not causing me any bodily harm. Why do they want to remove it? And it was like, well, maybe they want to remove it and study it, and I'll never hear from it again. So,
Mm.
and maybe it was put in place for a specific reason. So I decided, no, I'm going to leave it there. And I talked to Linda Moulton Howe about it. She said, it's there for a reason. You don't want to remove it. And so,
Whoa.
and so I said, okay, all right. Well, I told the doctors I'd give them a call back after I left, and I called them back and said, "No, I'm just going to leave it there. It's not causing any problems, and I don't want to cause myself any more pain. Just so you guys can remove something and mess around with. So I'm just going to leave it there." And they were like, "Seriously, really? We really want to check this thing out. It looks crazy." And so I was like, "No, I know, but I'm just going to leave it there.
So it's still there.
It's still there. Yeah, I don't know if it's there.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Do you
I don't know if
there's
it's.
no you can't feel it on the surface?
I don't feel anything.
It's like in the hip,
It's I wanna say about an inch deep
in
or
the
more.
bone, or
It's
in the
not in the
muscle,
bone.
or in like some type of ligament or something? In the
It's not
tissue?
it's not in the bone, it's just in
In
soft tissue
in
somewhere,
soft tissue somewhere?
and it's far enough where I can't feel it when I push and stuff,
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
weird,
I had
man.
no idea it was even present,
Also, you know damn well as soon as they take that out, you're never seeing that thing.
Yeah, yeah, as soon as they take it out, it's gone.
Classified. Happened
Yeah,
to John Ramirez.
they wouldn't even show me. I'm
Yeah.
sure that
Yeah.
they were a little too excited about it.
Happened to John Ramirez
Oh, no.
at the CIA. He, had these frequent nosebleeds. He fell back on his chair or something, so they gave him like an X-ray, and they saw that he had scarring tissue from or sort of like an incision up in his nasal cavity, and some. It seemed like fragments of something up there, and they're like, "Have you ever had an operation?" And he's like, "No." And they're like, "We'd like to remove this stuff from you in your nose, and at the same time solder that incision, and it'll prevent you from having these nosebleeds."
Right.
And so they extracted whatever it was he had in his nose, and closed him up, and it was all good. And then later on, when he was retiring, he remembers, he looks at his medical record, and he goes, "Hey, can I get that back?" And they go, "Oh, let us check." And they're like, "Nope, that's classified." And he goes, but it was in my body. And they're like, yeah, sorry, no, classified.
It's ours now.
So he called a doctor friend of his at the CIA who requested it. He could get access to it, but he wouldn't be
messed
allowed to
up.
show it to John either. What a whirlwind this has been. What a whirlwind this has been for you, sir.
It has been a whirlwind, to say the least.
Something you're still going through.
Constantly, yeah.
Man, I can't even. Can you promise me something?
I can't.
The next time you get the
is
transmission, if it
crazy.
isn't too personal, you'd share it with me?
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
that would be cool.
I don't want to keep anything,
Yeah.
from our progression. So yeah, I definitely will share.
Cool.
Absolutely.
And let me know, if you need my help with anything you got going on.
Yeah,
I'm happy to help with whatever I can help with.
absolutely. And
Okay.
I think, I really started thinking about this more when I was in Israel, do I want to keep doing the same boring job forever? And so I worked long hours out there and very little time off. But some of that time off, I would use to sit at a park and just watch people interact. Walking their dogs and things, and
Oh, that is a
occasional
fun thing to
children
do. I like
playing,
to do
and
that.
just
Go out with
just
my
kind of
daughter and
taking
my
things in and
dogs.
thinking about a
Let
lot
them
of
all have
different
fun.
things. And
It's relaxing
there's
for the soul
good people
and
out there.
mind.
There's families. There's people who struggle. There's people who don't struggle as much. And I just, I'm just, uh, we're all gifted with life and imagination and curiosities and um, brilliance that a lot of us just go throughout their daily lives not realizing they have.
Mhm.
And I just value life. I value people,
Yeah.
and
And obviously the pursuit of something greater.
something greater. Yeah.
Um,
And I think it's important that, you don't want to get stagnant doing um, stuff that you're not, that doesn't really interest you much anymore, and you want to move on. So if anyone out there's got some ideas, I'm all for it.
yeah.
I can make a living doing something I enjoy as
Yep.
opposed to, just the same mundane existence.
Yeah.
Yep,
You're
that's the
here.
right mentality to
And
have.
if anybody out
Everyone
there,
should do that.
wants to dot some I's or cross some T's on this whole puzzle, check out our Discord as well. This is a great place to reach out to me. I'm frequently on there, and I'll start a whole channel on this stuff. And so we can see people go down the rabbit hole and see what they come up with.
That's
I'll share that
outstanding.
with you, and
Yeah,
maybe bring you into the Discord as well, and be a part of it so you can see what people are putting together.
absolutely.
That'd be kind of cool, right?
It's always been crazy because there's a lot of things that just line up with other perspectives.
Yeah.
And I'm always open to other perspectives.
Yeah, it is.
And sometimes I can help people solve things really quick with just, well, hey, that sounds really familiar. Did you try this? Oh, wow, I didn't think about that.
Yep.
It's like, we weren't built to do things solo.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
were built to inspire one another and help one another. And so
Yeah.
that's, that would be great.
And in the great words of the Emerthers, expose hidden knowledge to all citizens. All right.
Right.
Seriously,
go.
when are they
That's
going to
what we can
finally
be
do
doing.
that?
That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
We all know the government knows stuff and they're not telling us. And I'm sick and tired of it. I need them to speak up as soon as possible because I want to know. And so do you. They probably never will. But I'm still hoping, right? The best
That's
we can
exactly
do.
what we're doing right now.
We're doing a thing.
I
Maybe.
don't know about all the hidden, but
Yeah. Well, maybe.
we're definitely sharing.
Well, a lot of this was hidden.
Yeah, definitely hidden.
I'm going to bring up, I got my phone in my hand, but not because I'm texting anybody, but because I'm bringing up the questions here from, I didn't want to, so normally I ask our members
Right.
a day before. I give them like 24 hours to come up with questions.
Right.
But I just didn't at that point feel comfortable putting anything about you out yet until this goes out.
Right.
Just don't want to give anybody any reason to go and, do anything or say anything preemptively. This is going to be, a bit of a surprise for people, and I want to keep it that way.
Okay.
But I did reach out to a few friends, so I got 2 here. I
Okay.
don't have very many friends, but
I don't
uh,
believe that. I don't believe that.
but here we go. We got one from my friend Jesse Michaels.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
I
interesting
need
question
that.
by
I need
Jesse.
that in the
I
back.
asked him to
What
ask
the hell
any
is
question,
that? That's
and this
super
is what he
cool.
came up with. Have you dealt with Kit Green or any other psychiatrist associated with the CIA?
No.
Okay.
No.
Easy answer. One thing that Jesse might find interesting, though, and this is something we talked about yesterday, you're part of a gifted and talented program when you were a kid.
Yes.
You,
I
you were a magnet kid.
I was
Magneto.
I went to a high school in
Mm-hmm.
Orlando, Florida. And I was accepted into the high school in the magnet program for the arts. I draw, paint.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little bit creative with drawing and painting. And that's how I got in with that. I eventually moved into television and broadcasting communications as well. So yeah, I'm good at editing. I'm good at
Well,
creativity and
I mean, there's there's
so,
kind of a tie into telecommunication here as well.
some,
You're a bit
yeah.
you're a bit of a broadcaster.
No, I like moving video with
Yep.
audio and some
Mm-hmm.
music background
Yeah.
and I don't know, more or less with music videos, for
Mm-hmm.
my kids when they're growing up and stuff.
Yeah.
My son was into BMXing and riding with his friend Chris, and Katie and Chris would go to the bike or the skate park and would do tricks on their bikes, and I was recording it and I put it together, some of the slow motion shots,
Yeah.
and
Fun.
pulling tricks off
Yeah.
with some music background
Cool.
and all lined up so when the beat hits is when the back tire hits
Yep.
the ground, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
it's a
they
lot of
loved it.
fun.
They loved it. Yeah, it turned out pretty good.
But yeah, so I mean, that's the interesting thing because as Jesse knows, and I'm sure as a lot of people know here, that like the GATE program, the gifted and talented education, was somewhat felt like some funnel for intelligence community, or at least people who were involved in the military in some capacity.
Right.
And there's been many, many cases of that, like that at the top line, like that you go through these, gifted and talented programs, but then like there's like other levels that like you get put into.
Right.
And some people, yeah, have found themselves into a bit of a pathway into the intelligence community. So it's just interesting that you had that background as well.
It is interesting that the military radar or field artillery radar was tied in with intelligence community,
Yep.
and a lot of times I was put in charge of our intelligence personnel.
Yeah.
As I got promoted and moved on. So yeah, my job was essentially aligned with a lot of the intelligence community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, good question, Jesse. Thanks for asking, but no CIA psychiatrist interaction here.
No.
We have one more question.
Yeah, spin that shit again. Even he's surprised.
It's
He's
from my
like, "Whoa,
friend."
This is pretty cool.
Luigi Venditelli. He asks, do you know of any specific physical procedures used by the Zeta creatures when handling a human? And now it doesn't have to be specific to the Zeta creatures, but could be to any. Do you know of a specific procedure that was done?
In my dream, or in what I remember, the flashbacks I was having, um, I never saw any sharp objects or any medical devices going into me or onto me. It was mainly, I just felt like it was difficult for me to move, and I was feeling sharp pains in my neck and my back region, but I couldn't see what was going on with my neck and I didn't have an out of body experience.
Right.
That
Yeah.
must be
I
scary,
was in
man.
I was in my own body, so I couldn't see what was going on behind me, and they were off to my peripherals.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
So I'm not aware what was going on.
Lower back, mid back,
Physically.
upper back.
It was mid to upper back,
Okay.
and then my neck.
And then your neck.
Right.
Was this prior to any injuries?
Prior to most of my injuries, yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd be nice enough to go back there and fix all that stuff too.
It'd be nice, you know, if
For tampering,
yeah,
anyways.
come fix me,
Yeah.
make my back good. That would be
Yeah.
great.
Make me a superhero. If they promise they're gonna make me some kind of
All right,
superhero,
sir.
like give
Well,
me like flight and
it
teleportation.
was an honor talking to
then
you.
They're
It
allowed
was
to
an honor
kidnap
spending
me.
time with you.
All right,
And I'm
but
really,
no
really
butt
grateful
stuff.
for
None of
you
that.
coming forward. One last question for me would be, what made you come forward?
Yeah, why now?
Originally, I wanted to protect my family,
Which makes sense.
and just kind of live my life. Um, but you know, it's one of those things that I'm out of the military. I'm no longer in the military. I've still done some defense contracts, but I believe I'm going to start moving away from that and find another passion. This is why I throw that out. You know, um,
I
in
think
order
you
for me
found
to
your
do
new
that, I need
passion,
to be
sir.
completely transparent with everyone. And so, uh, yeah, the Sergeant First Class CJ. Yeah, CJ is a nickname, Crazy Jeremy.
Hmm.
But I am Jeremy Weeks. So I'll come out and say it. I could lift the veil. It's time for me to move on and move forward. And the only way we move forward is by being open and transparent with everyone, open and honest.
Well, I appreciate you very much, Jeremy.
Me too.
And the world thanks you as well. Um, yeah, hopefully this is the beginning of a really fun and fulfilling rest of your life.
I hope so.
And if you need any help, guidance, or anything I can provide, please feel free to reach out to me.
Absolutely. You've been really awesome. And I really appreciate you having me.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Well, guys, that is it. Thank you for watching the entire series with me. We're gonna move on to some different type of videos now, and I will be back soon. I love y'all. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, guys. Peace.